My name is Chanel. Thank you for coming to my channel. Today we're gonna cook chicken pot pie. We're gonna put a bunch of yummy veggies. We're making the cream of chicken soup from scratch, and we're making the pie crust from scratch, and it's gonna be so good, and it's pretty simple. So we're gonna make two, one to eat tonight, one for the freezer. I'll try to be as informative as I can. All right, let's make chicken pot pie. So the other day I made split chicken breasts. Split chicken breasts are just big old chicken boobies with bones in them and the skin on, and I roasted them kind of like a rotisserie chicken. So this is the chicken I made the other day. I deboned it, and then I also made chicken broth from the same chicken. I just put all the bones in a pan, and you fill it with water and you simmer it for like ever. For like, I think I did it for like a day, maybe 2 days. Maybe a day, I don't know. Anyway, now we are going to saute the onions. Taking a shortcut today with these chopped onions because everything else is homemade, so these are just chopped onions. It's fine. We're gonna take this and start sauteing it. I also saved all the yummy butter chicken drippings from the pan when I made the chicken, and we're gonna use that to make our roux, which will then make the soup. So we're gonna start off by turning the stove on. We're going to saute the onions and garlic first. Let's see. We're gonna use some of the chicken drippings I was talking about. This is just like butter and chicken juice. It's gonna be a good base for the roux that we're making. We'll let that heat up and then add our chopped onions. We'll saute those a little bit, and then we'll probably add all the other veggies. Maybe not all the other ones. No, we'll saute this first with the onions and garlic. Then I'll probably make the roux. I don't know what I'm doing. And again, I don't measure things, so it's like half a bag of onions. This smells so good. I guess I'm gonna just dump all of this in there. You want all that fat. When you keep your pan drippings, you add a lot of flavor and a lot of nutrition because animal fat is really good for you. I mean, in moderation, obviously, like anything, but all of those nutrients from the bones, basically bone broth, they're really good for you. So that's why you want to keep your drippings anytime you make meat and add it to another meal. You're gonna let that heat up a bit. So I didn't have celery to put in here, which is always really good, but I have dried celery that I made last year sometime, so we're gonna add some of that flavor to it. I guess this isn't really sauteing as much as cooking down just a little bit. I'm gonna add some garlic. We know her, we love her, we will use lots. Lots of garlic. I think I will add all the other veggies, get them cooking a little bit. I'm gonna add all these potatoes and carrots. Probably not add the broccoli yet. Get all that mixed up. Let it cook a little bit. In a minute, we're gonna put our flour in. You see this? Add in some flour to it. What do we say? About 1/4 of a cup, maybe? I'm doubling this recipe because I'm putting one in the freezer. So yeah, we get that in there, and then we're gonna stir it all up so it absorbs all that butter and grease. We're gonna cook out the raw flour taste for a few minutes. See how it's all chunky? That's what we want. I don't really know how long. Now, as that is coming together, don't want to burn it, so be careful. I'm gonna add my chicken stock. This is gonna start to thicken up, and here in a bit I'm gonna put some milk in it, and we're gonna add all the other veggies and get this cooking down just a little bit. So yeah, that's basically how you make a cream of soup. I guess it's really a cream of vegetable soup. I will add the chicken here in a little bit, but yeah, it's real easy. You need butter, flour, and usually milk, but you can use a chicken stock. I'm gonna add the milk here in a little bit. If you want it real creamy, heavy cream or something, that might be too much. Anyway, it's basically like you're making a gravy. You can make this with gravies, cheese sauces. You usually start out with a roux and then you add the cheese to it. So this is just a simple way to make a thick gravy slash soup. See how it's starting to get a bit thicker? Kind of whisking it helps. I'm gonna add some mushrooms that I dried because I like mushrooms. I'm gonna cut them up just a little bit. All right, I cut them up a bit. Those mushrooms should absorb a bunch of water since they're dry. So that'll be yummy. I think I will put a little bit of peas in. Just some frozen peas. You could do green beans. I'm gonna put this broccoli in a little bit too. You could probably put asparagus. Whatever you want. I really like corn. I don't have any right now. But you could probably put corn in it. I'm gonna put the broccoli in it now. Now as it gets thicker and thicker, we're gonna add milk to it. This is my favorite. Go ahead, add all that. Doesn't that look yummy? Oh yeah, and the chicken. I guess we need to put the chicken in, huh? Chop these ones into smaller pieces because those other ones are kind of ginormous. You can use as much chicken as you want, and we don't want to cook it too long because it is going to cook in the oven too, but we do want to get some of those vegetables softened up a bit. I think I'm going to taste it, see what it needs. Definitely needs some seasonings. I'm going to put some salt. And this is kind of for your own preference, so I'm going to put 2 pretty big pinches. And put some cracked black pepper. I'm also gonna add some garlic powder, and this is onion powder. Yeah, we're gonna start off there. Mix this in and see what it tastes like. Way better. That's good. Isn't this the worst part of cooking? I hate dishes so much. But yeah, I'm gonna do them. Gonna make the crust now. All you need for crust is butter, flour, and ice cold water. This is actually frozen butter. You want the butter to be like super duper cold. And I'm gonna grate it. There's plenty of ways to do this. You can do it in a food processor. You can do it with a fork. Well, maybe not with the frozen butter, but with just softened butter. Actually had this in the freezer, forgot to take it out, so that's why I'm grating it. But I would normally, if I was doing it by hand, I'd use one of these to cut the butter into the flour. But since it's frozen, I'm gonna grate it. Kind of gross. I guess we'll cut that in. The colder stuff is with your pie crust. I'm not really sure the science behind it, but the colder it is, the flakier and delicious it becomes. I think it's a whole cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. We'll cut this big piece in with our cutter thing in a few minutes. All right, you want to see this? Oh, butter. That didn't take too long. You can definitely use your food processor if you'd rather. All right, so that's 2 sticks of butter. Now we need, and I am doubling this recipe, so this is gonna actually make 4 pie crusts, just so we know. You don't really have to be super precise with the pie crust. This is a good way to measure flour. You kind of fluff it up. You get a more accurate reading this way, your accurate weight, because flour can be packed down and then it can mess up whatever recipe. So 2 and 2/3. We'll say that's good. And this, we still have those big pieces of butter in there. So I'm gonna take my pastry cutter and go ahead and break those big pieces up real quick. We're wanting to get this to look like breadcrumbs, like butter flour breadcrumbs. So we want these pieces real small, just like you want all this. I'll go ahead and put this in. Ideally, you want to work a lot quicker than I am. See how it's coating all the butter? Sometimes I'll even get in there with my hands. I might do that in a second. I'm gonna get in there with my hands, kind of swoosh it up, get the big clumps. You can almost rub your hands together like that. Just trying to get it all into coarse breadcrumbs. All right, let me wash my hands. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put a pinch of salt in. And then, this is the fun part. Our water, we'll take one more drink before we use it. You wanna get cold ice water? And I can drink and do that because this is my family, so don't judge me. 1 tablespoon at a time. It says 8 to 9, but I end up usually putting more than what the recipe calls for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll try 8 first and let's see how this is coming about. I'm gonna get my cool whiskey whisk, and you're wanting it to start to form like a dough, you know? See, it's looking pretty shaggy still. See all the flour still in there? So we're gonna add some more. What was that? I was at 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh no! Let's try 12. Don't put the ice cubes in there. That'd be weird. So now you really just wanna get in there with your hands. See if it's ready. Thinking I might need some more water. Alright, I need more water because this is looking shaggy. So we're at 12, 13, 14, 15. We're gonna try 15. I might have added a little too much. So 15 is a little too much. I'm gonna add a little bit more flour, I guess. Put 1 scoop of flour and put some flour on the work surface. So apparently I don't know how to make pie crust, or I have forgotten. I don't know. I'm gonna fold it in on each other. I got a little too wet, so I need to get that flour incorporated. I'm gonna cut it into 2 equal-ish. Actually, no, we're gonna cut it into 4 equal-ish pieces. And then we're going to wrap it up in plastic wrap. Where is my plastic wrap? Oh, where is my plastic wrap? Just kidding, I found it. Wrap these up. And we put them in the fridge till I go to bake it later. And then we clean up this gross mess. Clip to mess cleaning up montage. Hi, it's actually the next day. I just put the soup in the fridge last night. I didn't think I could have it quiet enough to record, so I'm making it for Tuesday night's dinner, which is today. So let's get to it. I am just reheating the soup a little bit. I had to add a bunch more seasonings. I guess it just absorbed a bunch of them. So I added salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, mushroom powder, and a little bit of celery powder. I might have to add more salt. Now we're gonna roll out the pie crust that we did yesterday. They're nice and cold. We also have it at 350. Now I'm gonna do this one. Gotta pick it up real gently. Oh yeah, I made this super thin. Probably could have done it better than that. Try to get it to where the edges are gonna overhang. Fit it in there best you can. Let's do the top one. What's happening? Clearly, countertop's at a slope. All right, this will be our top crust. Now I'm just gonna fill this up. We got carrots, we got broccoli, we got chicken, we got potatoes, we got mushrooms. We got peas. Forgot about the peas. See a couple of those. We got bone broth. This is gonna be a delicious meal. And my family will love it. Well, everyone besides John Paul, but he only eats popcorn and chicken tenders. Bless him. I guess I should probably look into giving him a multivitamin, All right, that's probably enough. Let's go back over here. Ooh, can we do it while we're moving? Put this top on the best we can. It's not gonna be perfect, like I said. We're gonna try to squeeze those edges together. Maybe even fold them in a bit. Try to seal them, you know. It'll be thick over here, but it'll be good for the people that like more crust. I'm gonna do a quick egg wash. Let me mix this up real quick. All right, we're just gonna brush it over every exposed part of the dough. And this will give it a nice, beautiful shine, beautiful gleam. Makes it brown up nice. Nice. I don't usually do this, but it seems fun. Put a little bit of salt on top. And then we're gonna make some vent holes. And I always like the classic little vent holes. Cause that looks awesome, right? All right, time for the oven. I'm not sure how many degrees yet. I have to look it up. I'd say probably about 40. And check it. And also if it starts to get brown on the outside, like too much, you can put like a foil shield, like a piece of tin foil over it, and it will shield it from getting too brown, but also cooking the bottom crust. Then you can just ride on it. And now I'm gonna put it in the freezer. And yeah, it was that simple to make like an extra one. Just do it all at the same time, and then now I have a meal for another time where I don't really have to think about it. I just throw it in the oven and cook it, and bam, we got a yummy meal. We're gonna get out of the oven now. It's been about 50 minutes-ish. I had to keep adding time because it wasn't quite brown enough, so. Not quite as brown as I'd like it to be, but pretty good. And don't tip it over right away, like I just did, because you'll make a mess. Yeah, everyone was pretty much over me by this point. No one wanted to sit at the table or any of that stuff or record, but I made them do it anyway, and we ended up having the most fun time. We ended up playing War, which we didn't believe was a good game, so thank you, John, for that. We loved it. And sometimes you just gotta make your kids do stuff that they don't want to do, and that's okay. We had such a fun time. Stick around to see us being goofy with our game.
Glad y'all enjoy my game.
Look at that.
It doesn't matter, anybody can go.
Wait,
what the heck?
so who had the 8? I had 8, so us three.
I've only got 2 cards, so I just got.
That means I get the cards.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
4. It was 3 4s. I was declaring war. Alright, go. Somebody.
That is a low group. That's it for me.
Wait. What the?
Since he doesn't have any, so
I have a dilemma.
he gets some because he doesn't have any more. So, well, no war to declare.
Not this time.
What the? You can have it. Hey.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Mom would get them.
That's cheating!
Game's over. I don't know what you do on the end. It's bedtime.
No,
We're out of cards anyways. We're out of cards.
You won!
You beat us.
Your John Paul won!
Grandpa's got the most cards. You win.
Does he though?
Yeah,
No,
look,
don't do that.
clearly he does. Stop, stop,
Don't do
stop.
that. Don't do that. It'll make it hard to show.
Fix someone. Give me that snap. Yeah, get stuff in there. Thank you.
I declare. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you so much for coming and watching this with me. Let me know if you try this and if you like it. Catch you on the flip side. Catch you on the flip side. Catch you on the flip side. I will catch you on the flip side.